Welcome back, Conspiracy Class, to Fact or Fake episode 2. This week we're checking out a poltergeist case that involves famed demonologist Ed and Lorraine Warren, whose life stories have also been turned into films that you may have seen, The Conjuring and Amityville Horror. So let's take a look at this week's clip.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come.
The Warrens feel that some of the most compelling evidence ever recorded has been videotaped by them in this Connecticut home. For months, the family, whose faces are obscured to protect their identity, have been tormented by what they fear is a poltergeist. Ed attempts to communicate with the troubled spirit.
One knock for yes, two for no. Are you a man? Are you a boy?
The mother leans against the kitchen table, her hands in full view as Ed continues asking questions.
You want the people in this house to move? One knock for yes, two for no. Yes. Okay. Who is it that you don't like the most here? Is it? Is it? Is it their father? Is it their mother?
Oh my God.
Okay. I command you to reveal your identity.
Next, Ed decides to confront the poltergeist alone.
Give me some sign. Is that you moving something? Give me some sign that you're here. What I did was use religious provocation. I have to provoke it into some type of outward manifestation. And that was my point in doing that. In the name of Jesus Christ, I command you to reveal your identity.
On the following night, the family reports that the poltergeist seems to be more active than ever. Only now, its attention is focused on the family's 10-year-old daughter.
The little girl is trying to do her homework, but you can see that the chair keeps sliding backwards. You're holding it down, aren't you?
Yep.
It's got that much strength to it. Now, if you watch, you can see the little girl's legs are up on the rungs of the chair. She's not pushing herself up from the floor. The mother is not tipping that chair backwards. No. Nobody is touching that table. The table moves of its own volition.
The Warrens quickly arrange for 3 priests to perform an exorcism in the home.
So now that we've seen the clip, let's ask some questions to break it down to see if we can understand whether this is complete fake or it's got some fact behind it. Let's start by asking who. On this occasion, it's a family in Connecticut, USA that is having problems with the poltergeist. Next up, when was this footage taken? I couldn't find an exact date, but I believe it to be sometime between the late 80s and early 90s. Where was this footage taken? As stated in the film, Connecticut, USA, within a family home. What is the footage? On this occasion, we're looking at poltergeist activity that seems to be centered around the mother and the child of a family. Finally, we've got how this video footage was taken. On this occasion, I believe it to be via camcorder with no external sound help, as they have to subtitle what's being said in the film. So it's not of great quality, but it has been used by a Studio Bravo for a future TV series. Because of how the clip was filmed, I think we can rule out CGI, so if there's any trickery, it's going to have to be done physically using wires or pulleys. The family do seem generally concerned with what's going on in their home. I don't feel that these are actors or it's staged in any way. The most impressive part of the video footage is where we can actually see the objects move. At this point in the clip, we can see chairs and tables being moved, apparently of their own free will. Now that doesn't look like a light table from IKEA, it looks pretty solid. So let's face it, if something's going to move it, it's going to take quite a bit of force. With only Ed Warren in the room at this point, we do have to ask the question, who's moving the table and chairs? Wood isn't magnetic, so we can rule that out, and I don't think the wind would have enough power to move a table and chairs of this size. The camera on this occasion is fixed, so it's stable, which gives us a good view of the incident taking place. And in the original clip, you can hear the table and chairs being dragged across the floor. This means it has not been lifted in any way. In this part of the clip, we can see the second incident taking place, where a child is sat on the seat, and it seems to be that a poltergeist isn't happy with that and is trying to move the chair away from her. The way that this clip is shot is very clever. It answers a lot of questions. First of all, the child's feet are off the ground, so she is not tipping the chair back. The mother is holding the chair, but I challenge anybody with their thumb should tip a chair back with a 7-8 year old child sitting on it and pull it back at the same time. This seems very implausible. The amount of activity in this clip is also impressive. It doesn't just happen once, it happens over and over. Finally, we've got to ask the question of why would somebody fake this, especially when there's children involved, knowing that the psychological effects that this could have would be very damaging. Now let's take a look at the problems with this footage. First of all, we have to start with one of the major sources, Ed and Lorraine Warren. Unfortunately, there's a lot of controversy that surrounds this couple, and a lot of the things that they claim to have done have come out to be fake. So we do have to question with their involvement the validity of the overall incident that happened in Connecticut. Next up, we've got the video and sound quality of the overall footage. Because it's quite grainy, it would be hard to detect any wires or pulleys used to make the objects move. Even though the camera is steady in most of the shots, it doesn't give us a full scope of the room. So in the incident where the table moves out of its own free will, there could be something tied around the base of that we just wouldn't know. My final problem with the whole clip is how the footage is being used. It's obviously being given to networks to use in TV shows, which then has an underlying question of what the family gained from the whole situation. The family must have gained something from allowing this clip to be used, whether that's just a little bit of fame for 15 minutes or money, we will never know. After watching the clip numerous times and studying the facts behind it, my verdict on this particular clip is fact. And what I mean by that is that there's not enough information to say that this has been completely staged and faked. On this occasion, I believe that faith will play a bigger part on whether you believe this clip or not. Whether your opinion is this is fact or fake, there's one thing we can all agree on. If this is trickery, it's done fantastically, and if it's not, then this is great evidence of the paranormal. With clips like this that can go either way, it keeps people interested in what can only be described as the impossible. And with new so-called evidence coming out weekly in the forms of videos and photos, it can only be said that our knowledge of the paranormal will increase alongside our knowledge of spotting fakes. Well guys, thanks for watching episode 2, I hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out episode 1 if you haven't seen it. Give that like button a smash. Don't forget to subscribe for future Conspiracy Class videos, and you can find me on Twitter, it's @ConspiracyClass. Tune in to next week's episode where we'll be looking at another clip, but for now, class dismissed.
Yeah.